So in today's session, we are going to look into what is the roadmap to become a good data scientist. But before that, what is actually a data scientist and who are can we call data scientists? So my definition will be little different from whatever on it is on the internet, but I have choose this definition due to a reason, and it will be evident as we go on. A data scientist is someone who is better at statistics than any software engineer and better at software engineering than any statistician. So we have a mix of both, and those people are called data scientists. Thing is, what are the required core skills, or you can say basic requirements for becoming a data scientist? First of all, you need to have a passion for problem solving. There are a lot of problems in the world that can be solved using the power of data science. So you should know where to apply what. Next thing is one should love to tinker with data. That loves tinkering with data means you like to play with the data a lot. That I have already covered last time also. And then you have to be an average at mathematics and statistics. I know a lot of people fear about the maths and stats part, but you just need to be average, not even good at all. Next thing, you should enjoy the coding. Coding is a repetitive process and it requires a lot of effort from your side and consistency. But if you enjoy the coding part, then you will
Voice
have
is
a
breaking.
habit to code every day, and that it will not feel a very burden like thing, which happens a lot. Okay, so moving on to our next part. This is the actual roadmap to become a data scientist in 2022. I will be covering some of the basic things and remove a lot of noise, whatever present on the internet, and try to simplify things in a very sensible manner. So first thing is get good at stats or maths and ML. ML is machine learning, stats is statistics, and mathematics is maths. So what is the math that is required? So you just need to know a little bit of high school math, and you should be good at linear algebra. ML is intermediate level ML. Intermediate level ML means basically you should not only how to apply it, but also at the mathematical level you should know what is going on behind the process. Though there are many ML packages available, you should know the real math behind it. Next thing is statistics. And in statistics, you should mostly focus on descriptive and inferential statistics part. I have broke down this stats part into more simpler level. What are the things that you should focus on descriptive level and inferential statistics level? So first thing is descriptive. In descriptive, you should first know what is the difference between a sample and population. What are the things that you can perform on a sample and population? Next thing is you should know what are the measures of central tendency, that is mean, median, and mode, and how it affects the data if the values are changed or outliers are present. Next thing is histogram. Histogram is a way to plot our data. So data visualization parts automatically comes in, and also the box plot. This box plot is also called as a candlestick chart. It gives you the 5 number summaries along with the outliers. For the next part is inferential. In inferential part, these are the things that you should mostly focus on. First thing is random variable. Any event that happens at a random time or occurrence is there, random occurrence is there, that is we call as random variable. So you should know that the concept of random variable. Next thing, you should know the rules for the probability and also the basic probability. The rules that you should mostly focus on addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Also, you should know joint probability, division probability, not to forget the conditional probability. Next thing that you should know is permutation and combination. So how you should arrange the things and how many ways the things can be arranged. These two things are simultaneously working together when working on inferential statistics. Next thing is probability density function, which can be discrete or continuous. There are many distributions present in statistics like Bell-shaped Gaussian distribution or T-series distribution. You should know those probability density distribution functions. Also, you should know something called as hypothesis test. Hypothesis testing is a way to nullify your observations or facts that you want to make assumptions about. Next thing is this is the mathematics part, but it is also covered in statistics. Linear regression and logistic regression. Linear regression is for continuous data and logistic regression is for a single data point. So you should know this linear regression, logistic regression. Next thing that you should know is learn to code and how you should code that I am covering in this. So first of all, you should know computer science fundamentals. You can take the CS50X course from the Harvard University, which will give you a very good foundation about that. Next thing that you should know is the concept of end-to-end development. So end-to-end development means developing from the very scratch and deploying, debugging, and testing the end product. And now you should choose your first language and then learn while building. Most of the times, what people think is that they just want to learn things and then they will build. But there is no substitute for learn while building because it will help you understand the concept better and write better and efficient code in the long. Next thing is database. You should know this at a very high level. First of all, learn the basic file IO, that is file input and output loading. Next thing you should know is structured query language, how to query and merge different dataset using these SQL queries. Yeah. Next, you should know some of the tools like Postgres SQL, CouchDB, Cassandra, MySQL, MongoDB, all your foundation. Next thing is before diving to the data scientist part, we will dive to the data analyst part. And this is the thing that is required for it from a data analyst part, whatever we have covered here. First thing is data cleaning and merging. It is a process of converting raw data into tight data. So you have extracted data from multiple sources and now you can convert those raw data into tiny data. Next thing is data visualization. That is the process of creation and study of visual representation of data. Like we have used Instagram or Boxplot or analytic chart, bar chart, pie chart. You can use any type of data visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI. Next thing is reporting. So you should know how to report. And in report, it is basically the process of creating report dashboards, KPIs, that is key performance indicators to drive decision in a company. So in company, you will not provide the coding part. You will actually provide these type of dashboards which will have these key performance indicators. Next thing is big data or Hadoop. Hadoop is an open source software framework for large scale processing of data and storage. So if you want to process trillions and 10 or 100 of trillions of data, then these traditional approach will not. You should dive in the realm of big data. But in Hadoop also you don't need to learn everything. You just need to master these three. First one is Hadoop itself. Next thing is MapReduce. It is a programming paradigm that allows for scalability across Hadoop clusters. So next thing is itself from the AWS and it is called AWS Spark, which actually provides the real-time processing function to Hadoop. So Hadoop is basically the storage part, MapReduce is basically the programming part, and AWS Spark is basically the set of frameworks that you can use to provide real-time data processing to the Hadoop cluster. So next thing is practice. So there is no substitute for practice. You should practice everything. Go to Kaggle, join the Kaggle competitions. You will get to learn a lot. Next thing is Meetup. Meetup is a site where you can meet with fellow data scientists. Next, make a project. It is very important. It is very important that you should make a project. Though you can copy some of the projects from the YouTube, but you should have at least one of them which is your own uniqueness, and that is what will drive the recruiters to you. Next thing is develop your intuition. Over the time, you will develop your own intuition. Now you should become the job ready. So in beginner, you can just join the internship. And here is just a quick fact that you should target mostly the startups because startups don't require very high amount of qualification, and try to learn as much as possible in this stage. Next, at intermediate level, you should brush up your skills again and you should join a boot camp, which can be an online or offline science. This is to develop your intuition and revise the concepts. Third is apply for job. Keep applying for jobs or freelance projects. Now, once you have all these skills, you can just keep applying for jobs and search for some freelance project related to data science. And they will be happy to give you all these things if you have done all these things in a serial wise manner. Now, the last thing that I highly like is returning back to the community either by building a product or sharing the knowledge that you have gained. For in my case, I started writing about these data science topics and everything. That's it. Thank you.